Hello everybody, thank you so much for being here. My name is Carly. I am a medium as well as Reiki practitioner. This is your first time here. I do want to say welcome, and I do want to properly acknowledge you and greet you and say thank you for being here. We are going to do a September 2024 intuitive energy update. I have been feeling as of lately, specifically August, after the 8th of August, been feeling a lot of energy shifting internally within myself and within the collective, and there's a lot of focuses on finance. There's a lot of focuses on just moving really more from who we are, a lot more deeper discoveries, awakening, uncovering things, working through, we're always working through like so many belief systems from like the last thousands of years that our ancestors have gone through, right? But I feel like this time has been so potent and powerful, and that Leo energy has really been like that kick surging energy of like moving forward, focusing, and just doing the work. So I'm very curious to see what's coming in for us in terms of September 2024. So I'm going to start here with the Chakra Oracle Insight deck first. What's happening for us as a collective for September 2024? September 2024. I'm getting this like sensation of being like, what's the word? Almost like, I don't know if the word is wishing away, or like, it's almost a sensation of if you're not really rooted, anything can come up and just kind of whoosh, take you with the wind. So it's like this feeling of potentially that energy coming in for September. So there might be like a deeper ask to really uncover more of like our rootings and uncover more of what really keeps us grounded and what really, like to the core of us, keeps us grounded. Let me take note of that and keep this moving forward too. We have number 35, creativity, number 44, presence. So under creativity, that's imagination, expression, originality, and passion. 44 is awareness, attention, reality, and connection. So give a moment here for these. Creativity and presence. We have number 26, connection. We have number 2, family. So with connection, there is universal oneness, love, interconnection, and support. Number 2 with family, there is belonging, community, culture, and tribe. Belonging, community, culture, and tribe. I feel like for a lot of us, it's like this energy of moving from who we really are, and oftentimes it's really going back to what we enjoyed when we were children, when we were adolescents growing up. Like, what were those hobbies? What were those things that really just lit us up, that really made us feel playful, made us feel fun? A lot of those times it really does have to do with creativity. So I feel like there's this energy within the collective of, I don't know, I just get this sense of like, universally, there's a stir in the pot for all of us recently where, you know, however we came across it, where we landed in a situation and it scared us and it realized we have to like shift things up fast for ourselves, or whether it's like somebody said something out of the blue and we were not expecting it, but it really lands deep with us where it's like, okay, like my attention is here. Or it might happen through synchronicity for some, like seeing just synchronicity. But when we see the synchronicity, when we're in those moments, we experience that internal feeling that's like, okay, yeah, like that the intuition is speaking through my body right now, and I probably good for me to listen to that from past experiences, right? So yeah, I am getting the sense that a lot of us are just really like coming to the core of who we are. It's interesting. I was trying to look into the year of 2025 right there, and the energy that I got, because usually when I feel this energy of like really coming into self more, it's like really strong, it's really sturdy. But when I felt this energy in the past, it's more because it's like, it's always everything's purpose, right? But this type of energy is like, it's needed usually for like a type of shift. So when I'm looking at this energy in a collective sense, it could be like, okay, there's like a shift, maybe economically, maybe like politically, maybe like it could be with the people or with the structures that we have built in. Maybe it's about destructuring so that we can reconstruct something that's more of benefit for us, for this earth, for what's needed at this time. And so when I looked into the year of 2025 with what I was just saying and expressing, what I was actually seeing there in 2025 was like a whole lineup of people, a whole lineup of humanity. Yeah, like just the whole lineup of people kind of coming together in like one line, one unified line. But it's like all of these new openings and uncoverings and awakenings. There's a beautiful like family of birds that are flying around everywhere. There's like 3 different birds there that I just saw. 3 different like families of birds. Like there's many birds in 3 families, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like it's just, I don't know, it's like this energy of uncovering to be fully self, to support 2025. But it's just interesting how I got that unified field, or that unified stream of humanity, unified stream of people standing together, people standing together, people standing together. But it's authenticity, and it's coming deeply rooted from, this is who I am, this is, you know, the truth of who I am, this is my honoring to be who I am, this is like feeling really, really good for me right now, okay? So whatever energy lights us up in that way, and oftentimes it is creativity, that is the energy that I'm picking up on for September for us too. And I do feel like it is kind of streamlined from August into September for some of us as well. And some of us will actually end up finding family, new family, in what we come to discover in our creative outlets, or what we come to remember in our creative outlets. Some of us maybe have felt like we've been alone on this journey for a while, or maybe we have just been walking the trail alone, or just flying solo in a lot of it. And that was also purpose for where we are and for where we're going. And that's also like, that alone time is important, because then knowing self when you're alone, and being with self when you're alone, and really understanding self when you're alone, like what makes you sad, what makes you happy, what fills you up, what is laughable, what can you let go of, what do you need to resolve? Are there different ways that you need to resolve it? Once we understand ourselves, then we come into this beautiful unified frequency of family. We come into this, we get to experience this, and it's more, that's interesting. What I wanted to actually say was like, it's more harmonious for the earth at this time. Like that's like the channeling I want to say. And I guess like the feeling with that is like, I almost feel like this earth has really big plans and dreams and aspirations for all of us. And it's like, there's probably a lot of us that are really scared to take that step into our dreams, to take that step into like what it really means to be ourselves, off of fear-based belief systems and off of things that, you know, we have experienced in the past, right? And that's understandable. But there's also support here coming up from this earth at this time, especially this time for us to remember ourselves, to uncover ourselves, to look out into the world and see how we are connected to every single ounce of it. And yeah, I don't know, something's like coming to my mind right now. I read on an Instagram post recently. It was like the whole point of, what is it? The whole point of enlightenment, the whole point of healing, up-leveling, however you see it, it's really so that we, like our physical bodies, can hold more joy. And it's so interesting and it's so beautiful because in my own personal life experience, it's like me working with different supports and different beings. I do a lot of mediumship work through frequency, and for me, my body's like really attuned to different frequencies, especially when I'm channeling, especially when I'm connecting. And it's really, yeah, it's really beautiful because sometimes I notice with like I call it more powerful frequencies, but there are other beings that I've worked with where sometimes my body starts to shake, like just from the energy. And over time, it's like knowing me, knowing my tools, knowing my body and how I operate as a channeler, it's like that. For me, I know like the best thing for me to do in the moment is to just breathe, because for me, my breath is like my grounding and centering point for my body. And also to lie down, because sometimes I'll feel it in the back of my head where I'll get a lot of energy there, and then I need to lie down so that the energy can actually balance out in my body, so that I'm able to kind of be present with that level of frequency. But what I really think it is like that frequency is just, it's such a higher vibration than what we're commonly used to as human beings. Not all of us, right? But the frequency, it's like, yeah, it can really it can really teach us a lot about ourselves and our bodies, and it can really show us a lot about ourselves in terms of us as a species, as humans, in a really beautiful way too. And I remember hearing another being, he channels through Daryl Anka, his name's Bashar. You might have heard me talk about him before, but Bashar, basically, he's from a different, I don't know if it's a different star system, it is a different planet, but when he channels through Daryl Anka, he does trance channeling, he talks about contact, like how, you know, one day, like his species, his world, like their people will, like when they make contact with us as humans, it's like our frequency needs to be so attuned to that. And whoa, this is wild because I completely forgot about this, but it ties into the reading. But Bashar said, well, actually, Daryl Anka was sharing in a documentary one time that he had a dream about Bashar because he wanted to meet him, and said, hey, like, I'm ready for contact. Like, can I actually meet you? And Bashar said, okay. So Bashar visited Daryl Anka in his dream, and he got off of his spaceship. And when Bashar started walking to Daryl, like, I want to say almost similar thing where his body, like he noticed like the energy was really high, and then in the dream it was like Daryl lost himself. He couldn't see or feel his body anymore. And Bashar was saying that's because our frequency, we have to wait until humanity matures into this a little bit more, so that there's more of a collective understanding and holding of this, so that the frequencies are more aligned. Because if we were to meet right now, it is like losing yourself, it is like losing your sense of identity. But all of this will happen naturally, and all of it will unfold in really beautiful and natural, harmonious ways for each and every single person, for each and every single being, right? According to their own belief systems, according to where they are. There's so many different energetic patterns, and it really is about that. Like I see in my own journey, because I'm like, the more, it's like how I see it is like purifying my vibration, purifying me, who I am. And the more I do that, and the more I allow that, the more I'm like, okay, this is really me, this is really who I am. And everything, like I don't know, it's like when my consciousness increases, I can start to see the extensions of everything, and I can start to see things more. My thoughts that are in my brain are different. They're newer thoughts that I've had than ever before, and like everything in my reality has shifted. And I can feel that because I'm used to that in my own body now, and I'm so thankful that I can do that too. And that we all have access to this as well. And yeah, it's really incredible. But it makes sense as to what I'm picking up on in terms of having that sense of self and that sense of identity to then, you know, continue on maturing into different like higher frequencies, right? And a lot of this really, I am seeing for a lot of us, the window to that is creativity. And sometimes it's like being in a creative circle with people who are like us. The joy, the fun, the freedom, that alone, that combo of frequencies is so potent for bliss, for amazingness, for feel-goodness, for magic, right? And it really is that. It really is presence, connection, family, and creativity. The next thing too that I want to talk about is the bottom of the deck card here, faith, with hope, support, miracles, and spirituality. So faith really talks to us about, you know, leaning in that direction of more of what we do prefer. Faith, I am getting to, for some of us who have felt like we've kind of been struggling, just to always remember that when we are going through this motion of human life and journey, it goes like this. We're always acclimating, but when we go into the highs and we come back down to the lows, we take that information from the highs to ground into the lows, so that way it's more integrated and everything. This is why when we are focused in this direction of better and better, and we are actively, you know, being in the presence of our consciousness and where we are in terms of energy, in terms of thoughts, in terms of emotions, and in terms of how our belief systems are in direct alignment with that too. That's why when we focus better, when we do better, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. We are always acclimating, right? Let me see. Oh, and for some of us who have felt like it has been hard or it has been a hurdle, try to reframe that in a way, this is the message I'm getting, try to reframe that in a way where it is really more of benefit to you. So this could look like, oh, I've been here before and I've done this before, and maybe not to this level, but I've gotten through it before, and if I did that, then I can do this again. And to also remember, this is what's also coming through from my guides, is that when hold on, they're sending the message. They want me to relax first. Because there's the message and then there's the frequency of the message, which is what they want me to relax into for. So when there's certain areas of life that are felt very hard, very destructive, very breaking open, or very breaking apart, and that can also be used in a positive way. Sometimes some things have to break open and deconstruct and fall apart, so that way we have a clear baseline to reground, to regroup. And remember, it is always about the purity of the core of your being that is going to navigate you through that. Be authentic, be intentional, be perpetual with it. And not just perpetual in terms of eyes, ears, perpetual. See it with your heart, see it with your being. You know, when we close our eyes, It allows us to connect to a deeper sense of seeing. See it, be with it for as long as it needs to be, and then figure out your movements from there. That's what I'm getting. Okay, I'm gonna go with the, oh my goodness, 21 minutes. I'm gonna go with this deck here. My guides are like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter, but you know, what comes through comes through. And that's really it. That's really it. Okay, I feel like there's another card in here. Ooh, every time we line something up for us, when we line things up for us, no matter what happens, if we line it up in our minds as best case scenario, or it's working in our favor, it's always going to craft in that way. It's always going to follow suit in that way. As long as we have almost like the tough love on the mentality sometimes for those darker thoughts, or for those thoughts that try to swing around, that is self-love redirected to ourselves, right? Sometimes we need that soft, nurturing love, and sometimes we need that love where it's like, okay, like, you know, this is where it's at, this is where it's going, we got to make a shift, like time to buckle up, time to put on the big girl, big boy pants, the big person pants, like let's go, time to get moving. It's knowing when to utilize that, and I feel like that energy of putting on the big person pants might be needed for some of us for September as well. Okay. We got Ace of Air. Ace of Air and Connection. That fell out on top of Connection here. We also got Integration. That fell out on top of Creativity here. I feel like this goes in like hand in hand with family as well, and creativity. So integration. We also have Vision Quest, Spiritual Warrior, and Daughter of Earth. Okay, yeah. Bottom of the deck, we have Seven of Fire, Endurance. So for some of us who have felt like certain things have been a struggle, or, you know, we're uncovering deeper levels and deeper layers and just feel like it's been going on and on, what I'm hearing about that is just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. Like it's not going to be too much longer, just a little bit. Just stay rooted, just, you know, think of water, incorporate more flow for yourself, incorporate more flow for yourself. This will help, whether it's being by water or whatever makes you feel flowy instead of like rigid. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's journaling, maybe it's breathing deeper, maybe it's ecstatic movement, maybe it's chatting with a friend, maybe it's rolling down a hill, you know, whatever that looks like for you. Invite the flow in, invite the flow in. It'll be so good for you. Okay, so we have the Ace of Air card, which is all about inspiration. And this literally fell out directly underneath Connection. So this tells me that for some of us, especially those of us who have been feeling stuck, stagnant, alone, it's an invite this month to get into spaces, put ourselves out there in social settings, in areas where we're going to feel really supported, okay? I'm getting that a lot. Support for us, support. Oh my goodness. Support with people that are aligned with who we're at and what we're doing, right? So, you know, if you've been feeling called to launch the thing you want to launch, to step into the thing that it is you want to do, to dive more into what you want to offer, into who you are, to take a new direction, or whatever it is, it's leading into those supports, it's creating those supports, it's finding inspiration in those supports, because ultimately all of that, it is so key, it is so crucial to who you are, to your uncoverings and rediscoverings, and it's all connected. It's all connected. Yeah, and just, it's beautiful because Daughter of Earth represents creativity as well. So it's literally like, I just feel like a lot of us in September are in this like creative energy. I don't know if it's because a lot of people are going back to school and we're just all like in this kind of collective excitement, because this time of year for a lot of us in September usually represents, you know, just new beginnings, new journeys, opening the door, stepping in, taking our first steps into learning, into education, into applying and learning new things. And that ultimately comes down to us trusting ourselves, to us knowing how to navigate. It's working with ourselves in this way, in this dynamic, right? So I do feel like there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot, for some of us, there's some belief systems, fear-based belief systems that are coming up, and there's just different, almost like grinders in where we're at that want to start moving again. So I feel like, yeah, I just feel like the support for us will be there with the people that we find inspiration from. And, you know, this can be social settings, like actually in like going out and playing volleyball with somebody, or going out to a book club, or going out and watching a movie with friends, or, you know, playing board games with friends. Sometimes it's just sitting on YouTube and watching a video with others who are doing a podcast or talking about something that you're directly interested in, right? But it's intentionally being there, and it's just being there out of, it feels good for you, it feels joyous for you. Yeah, and then Vision Quest and Spiritual Warrior. This to me talks all about seeking and inner discovery. Like literally the whole reading is what I'm talking about. This is just cards that are confirming it. But it is really about, it's seeking something deeper. It almost feels like this energy of seeking more meaning, more purpose, more understanding, so that we can actually connect more of like our soul to what it is that we're doing on a day-to-day basis, so that we can come more online and more present into who we are, and carry this energy of deep presence, deep authenticity, deep purpose, connection, purity into what it is that we're doing. And I just feel like it's going to be good for 2025 too. Like I don't know, I get that vibe. But yeah, that's pretty much the reading. I mean, I can grab some more cards from these other decks. You know what? Let me grab one from here, actually. I feel like they're just going to be clarifiers, but let's grab some cards anyways. Or not clarifiers, sorry, confirmation cards. Yeah, stripping illusion, 27. So it's like all those things that were holding us back, or those fear-based belief systems, we're going through that, we're actually releasing them now. We are actually releasing them now, and we are just allowing ourselves the space to breathe again and the space to be again. And some of us just full sending it and going into, okay, bottom of the deck, 25, is sexual energy. So this lines up with creativity. They live in the same energy center in the body, your sacral chakra. So sexual energy and creative energy. That makes all the sense. Yeah. Okay, let me see. We'll do one card from here as well, or however many want to fall out. For September 2024, intuitive energy read for all of us. Getting an energy, I'm getting an image of Mary Magdalene right now too from my other deck, which is interesting because I don't have it here, but she popped in my head, which is like, it's a message here for someone. Mary Magdalene's energy is going to be very, there's somebody here that's been wondering about, struggling through relationships. Yep, because two bugs, the unison of two together, flew by right when I said that. That message for you is that Mary Magdalene, her energy, her frequency can help you specifically with that relationship issue, struggle that you're going through, issue or struggle or dynamic that you're going through, whatever it is that you're asking about relationships. It's more of like a feminine essence. It's like Yeah, there's 2 birds that flew by. Love birds. That's interesting. But you can call on her to ask her for support, envision her energy if you're ever in a state of meditation. We have Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul, drum, dream, and journey, and seer, see beyond the current. See what I was talking about seer earlier? See from your heart. That was getting channeled. That was channeled through my guides. Was see from your heart. Okay, but literally, like, not clarifying, they're just confirmation cards. A lot of us tapping into dreams, tapping into what excites us, tapping into and remembering like who we really are. See, remember how I was saying it's about our soul selves coming online so that we can be present to what it is that we're navigating through. That is exactly it. Follow the voice of your soul. And I feel like that, I don't know, like I feel like for a lot of us from now, I'm filming this at the end of August into September and end of September, I feel like a lot of us are just gonna like come online and like, something's coming up. I'm gonna hold this up while I talk about this. But this is the other card that fell out, see or see beyond your current situation. But what was coming up was this term called walk-ins. Some of you may have heard of it, some maybe not. Again, from Bashar, I heard about a walk-in. Well, his take on walk-ins is basically like not what it has been portrayed as on this planet, which has been kind of like, I don't know, it makes me feel like, I don't know, whatever that face is. With walk-ins in particular, what Bashar was saying was that it's not like when something happens, there's another soul that comes into you, like a completely different soul. That's what it's been portrayed as on this planet. That's like taking over you. He said what it actually is that there's certain moments in our journeys where we expand, and literally what a walk-in is, it's just more of our own soul, like more of ourself coming into our body, coming into our expression, because we've up-leveled, because we've met that frequency, because we've met that, right? So it's literally like more of who we are coming in through expression, through us as we are. That's my paraphrasing of what he said. I'm sure you can also find that on YouTube if you want to kind of cross-reference that too, and, you know, discern with it and feel how you resonate about it as well. But yeah, I am getting this sense of more in that sense, Bashar's sense of a walk-in. Yeah, that's what it like feels like for September. Is like a lot of us are having more of like our soul selves coming in to who we are and being present. So this looks like more authenticity in our choices, our everyday choices. It could be like what we're choosing to support and align our finances with, our money with, in terms of, you know, how we're shopping for food, how we're voting with our money, what we're choosing, which reality we're creating by where we are pointing our money to, by what we're expending with our money. It could also be a look of like maybe even peeling back with money, and how that's a reflection of we are compressing back into ourselves because there's something here that we need to integrate. There's something here that we need to face. There's something that we need to kind of acknowledge. There's so many different ways that it could go, but it really does feel like our soul selves are coming more to the forefront for September. Like, it feels really cool. It feels really, really cool. So yeah, follow the voice of your soul. Bottom of the deck here is Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. So what is it that is calling you? What is it that you know deep within your core that you have to do, that you want to do? And what's really holding you back from that? Maybe you sit and journal with it. Maybe talk with a, you know, certified coach, therapist with it, friend with it. Chat with yourself in the mirror about it. Do mirror work and look into your eyes. Like, whatever way works for you in terms of really getting crystal clear on that, what's holding you back and how you can actually move forward. Whichever way that works, that more of that. I don't know, that's just how it was coming through with the message. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you so much, not only for being here in this reading, but for being here on this planet at this time. I really do want to just genuinely from my heart to you say thank you. I just feel so grateful with where I am and what I know, and sharing this with others, being in presence in this with others, and it really is just like really lovely, and it makes me feel really hearty, and that's what makes me feel really core and is really aligned to me. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for remembering who you are and why you are, and thank you for being open to that, and thank you just for where you're at. And even if none of this resonates, just thank you for just being you. Thank you. I am just wishing you and seeing you in all of the heartiest success that comes from the purity of your heart. We'll chat soon.